All right, what do we got up next?
Bobcat. You guys are gonna just kill me for this. It's just boom, 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 boom. Oh, look at my fingers. There's no fuel gauge. Okay, what am I doing wrong here, Ed? Alright, it doesn't get any crazier than this, but Ed Wright from Wright Mowers actually owns almost every single stand-on mower that's ever been made, and he buys all brand new ones every single year. So I called him up and asked him if Brian from Brian's Lawn Maintenance and I could come out and do a review of all these mowers since they're in one spot. He didn't care at all, and in fact he jumped in and started to point out the good and bad with each mower, but here's where it gets kind of weird. Ed was pointing out more good things about the competition than he was pointing out bad things, and you're gonna see this over this 9-part series. And I gotta give him a hat off to him because he was a lot nicer to his competition than I personally would have been if I owned a lawn mowing company and was critiquing somebody else's stuff. So without wasting any more time, let's check out Bobcat's mower today.
Okay, so I really see this as more of a price point unit. It's very simple in its construction, but there's lighter duty stuff. So, you know, we have this metal rod wearing right on the metal plate. This plate is part of the frame, so once this wears out, you're not gonna ever fix it, right? So there's some things that are a little bit kind of one and done in terms of.
Wait a minute, are you talking about this piece right here, Ed?
This is welded into the frame, right?
Wait a minute, this is...
You can't replace this shaft because it's welded shut.
Oh my God.
Right? And then you have this is no bearing or bushing in here, right? So when this wears, it's game over.
How many hours do you think you'll get out of something like that? I mean,
1,500, something like that, you know.
So that's an important thing to keep in mind. So that's why I want to make sure we differentiate the difference between light heavy duty and heavy, medium heavy duty, or whatever we said earlier. Okay, what else? All right, guys, we divided these mowers up into 3 distinct categories based on size and price. Your heaviest duty mowers are 60+ inches. Your medium duty mowers are going to be between 50 and 60 inches in one price category, and then the light medium duty mowers, which may be in the same size range, but they also have a lower price point, and that typically is often reflected in the quality of those mowers. And we wanted to make sure that we differentiated all 3 of these so that you don't go out and buy a light medium duty mower thinking that you're getting a medium duty mower at a similar price point. Well, hopefully it makes sense by the time you're done with all 9 parts of this video series. And also go over and check out Brian's channel because he's going to be doing the heavy duty mowers over there as well.
So it has the FX engine with heavy duty air cleaner, which is great, but it then has the lighter duty starter, right? If we open up the back, the battery's not held down. It's a pretty small battery. So, you know, again, things that you're not going to see, you know, loose fuses. You're going to see a greater commitment to how it's constructed on a machine that's built for thousands of hours. Something that's made to be serviced and kept going for a long time.
Yeah, I've never ran a Bobcat before.
I haven't ran one either. I want to try one of these out.
Where's the... Oh, here's the brake, right here. Okay, so brake. So it's got hour meters good. What is this?
So
fuel selector.
There's no fuel gauge on it.
You
and
just
instead
switch from one tank.
there's reserve. You know, like a motor scooter. You're on, and you start running out. You switch over.
He's an engineer by design, so he's like slice, you know.
No, there's no cynicism when he's talking about.
He's just like a samurai, you know. He just comes in, cuts you from the legs. You don't even know.
It works for a motor scooter. It's legit, and on a carbureted engine, it's not so bad. But you really don't want this for an EFI engine because you have an electric fuel pump that you're running dry. That's not very good for that. So this is not sold in EFI. It's fine. It's one way to do it. You know, the engine will start sputtering. You switch over. You know, you got 20 more minutes. It's actually maybe more accurate than some gauges, but you can't look at it and say, "Hey, I got enough to make this run a mile over down the street and down and back up." Right?
Does it have even a visual?
Is there a fuel gauge, or just the tank?
No, that's it, dude.
No, I think
there's no fuel gauge. So you can go in here and look, right?
Yeah.
Because the tank itself is black, so you can't see nothing.
So price point is here for a guy getting started, getting cash flow moving, getting some properties going. I'm not going to argue with its use for that. But if you're cutting daily and you don't want to mess with stuff, you're going to want to move up to a machine that's a little bit beefier, right?
So what you're gonna see next is almost two different perspectives, and that's why I brought Brian out. We're both gonna run this Bobcat mower, but we're gonna have a different experience. But look at our body positioning. When I'm running the Bobcat mower, I'm hugging the cushion, and when Brian's running it, he's leaning back from the cushion. So however you operate your mower may affect the results. Now what I noticed was that the controls are very finicky. That's not a bad thing. It's just something I noticed that it would take a little bit of a learning curve to get up and over, and it might be perfect for you guys. So kind of keep that in mind as you watch Brian and I run this thing next.
Beefier, right?
You guys are gonna just kill me for this, but I wasn't exaggerating much. So as I was hitting these controls are so micro sensitive that the machine was actually starting to chatter on its own. Absolutely, hands down, that wasn't me trying to do it, but I wasn't also trying to dampen it.
Right.
I was letting it do what it wants to do. Now, Brian, what I want you to do is I want you to take a path right next to the path I took.
Yeah.
And I want to get your feel on this. Have you ran this machine?
I've never used a Bobcat, nope.
Okay. Were you trying to dampen it?
Not at all.
Okay, what did you notice?
It's fast. It's very, the hydros are very they're not buttery smooth. It's a little sputtery.
It's sensitive.
It is. It's fast. It's quick. It's I don't know. Let's go do another pass.
Okay.
Because I'm kind of curious. I was going full forward. You know what I mean? But
Yep.
I could tell when I let off
Yep.
that it immediately wanted to jerk me, backwards or forwards or whatever.
So that's why the Gravely has dampers, and that's when you have a transmission, they're almost jumpier like that.
Really?
Yeah.
So what do you mean by transmission?
So it has the integrated transmission instead of the pump and motor drivetrain.
Okay.
It's just gonna,
So it's not a unitized system, it shares it?
it's a unitized system. So the unitized system's gonna be a little bit jumpier like that.
Really?
When you get used to it, it's not bad.
Okay.
But when you're new to it, and that's when you take the Gravely out, you'll tell that's why they've dampened it.
Good. Hey, I don't like the hand.
Okay.
It's a touchy unit.
It is,
It's a little touchy. But you had a rougher patch of land.
I ran it
Yeah.
exactly the same as I just got done running the Hustler.
Right.
Okay? I didn't give any forgiveness in my hands. I let the machine do what the machine was going to do.
Right.
The same way that I ran all the Skag, the Wright, the X-Mark, the Gravely. I ran this exactly the same, and that's where the chatter came in.
You know what? One thing that I'm just not a fan of is having these safeties in the handles. I feel like if it's a stand-on unit, it should be in the platform, every one of them, like I always talk about this, when I get into the neutral position, or like when we just hit a little bump in the grass, this almost makes me want to fling this off, and that right there just cuts the engine, or you know, disengages the PTO.
This cut's pretty good for handling it, but it's still the herkiest, jerkiest lawnmower of any of these that we've tested, hands down. Brian, I want you to run this thing and just you tell me, herky jerky, I mean,
sure.
Is it or isn't it?
Honestly, it was coming pretty good for compared to the big boys.
Not complaining about that. I'm just saying that for the feel of the mower.
It is jerky.
It is herky jerky, right?
Yeah, it's finicky. You know, and here's why I feel like this handbar up here.
Yeah.
It's so far away. Look how like far extended my hands are. I have to go a pretty good length.
Yeah.
It's not like these other ones who just feather it an inch or two.
Right.
This seems like a lot of travel.
Yeah, and the controls are, I mean, you're gonna get used to those.
I don't like this part here though. You wanna do something, this is something I do not like.
I don't like that either.
I don't like this at all.
I hate that.
I feel like I have to wrench it backwards, and if I'm just trying to...
Dude, I feel like that's homeowner grade right there.
I don't, there's no lever. Why can't we have a lever system? You know what I mean?
That's definitely homeowner grade right there. You're gonna go to Home Depot and buy your lawnmower to cut your backyard. That's what you're gonna get.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that.
All right, so let's go on the record saying these are things we're noticing right off the bat.
It does cut pretty good though.
It does. Alright guys, I did kind of beat a dead horse when I talked about how finicky those controllers are, and that is something that you will eventually get used to, so don't let that stop you from making a purchase decision. At the end of the day, the Bobcat's cut quality was excellent. It actually kept up with a lot of the mowers that were even at a higher price point, and the company itself seems like a good company, but I don't know that for a fact. There's going to be guys that run Bobcat mowers that have had good and bad experiences, so just read the comments down below because maybe these guys will share what they know about these Bobcat mowers. And while you're here, make sure you check out these videos right here and make sure you stick around because we've got a lot more mower videos coming at you where we review a whole slew of different mowers in both long grass and short grass, and go over all of the things that hopefully will help you make a purchase decision coming in the spring of 2019. God bless you guys. Go get them.